All right, man. Great to sit here with a dear friend of mine, man, for quite some time. I had Trae Tha Truth here, you know what I mean, my long time, not just a friend, a brother, um, a fellow artist, a philanthropist, entrepreneur, father, uh, and a proud native of Houston, Texas, man. Welcome.
What's up, bro?
What's going on?
Man, I'm blessed. You know it gotta be something. You got me on this chair, man.
Yeah, well, I don't even often sit here and do interviews, but I just felt that when we do these interviews, that it's only right that we sit down and have conversations with people who have experiences and perspectives, that could offer something different to the culture. So that's why we here. Now, first of all, bro, a lot of people don't know this, but you've been like very active on the scene in entertainment, but also just in the city of Houston for a long time. Where you get your start?
Man, I tell people all the time. I think naturally it's just always just been my heart. You know how you could be in a situation and you can watch somebody maybe being bullied or somebody just going through things, and it just look like they on their own, and you always want to step in.
Yeah.
I think that's just always been the type of energy I had. So when I'm watching people handle people, and you just watch somebody get the bad end of the stick instead of me
Right.
being silent, it's like I'm gonna jump out there for them. Whatever come with it, come with it.
So you always been that way, like
Yeah,
even
yeah.
back before, before your Trae Tha Truth day, when it was just Trae, you was still like that,
Yeah, yeah.
standing up for people who couldn't stand up for themselves as much.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even put the jacket on them that they couldn't stand up for themselves, but man, just witnessing a lot of people feel like they're back against the wall and it's just them. It make you feel some type of way. Like if you see something nowadays on social media and you like, man, they handling that person wrong.
Right.
It make you want to just naturally reach out
Right.
like it's cool, I got
Got it.
you.
Is that what led into your passion for like disaster relief and whatnot? Because you've been on the front line a lot of times when nobody else out there. Like I'm out there sometimes. Like you you be out there all the time. You know what I'm saying?
So I think it's a double-edged sword, right? I think Harvey was when I started getting magnified for the stuff I did,
Right.
Because I've been getting awards since '99 for doing stuff for the city.
For real?
Yeah,
You were rapping back then too?
yeah. I
Okay.
wasn't nowhere near where I'm at now. I wasn't as good as I was.
Yeah.
But I had to be rescued in Harvey.
For real?
Yeah, I had to be rescued. My brother Jayton ended up coming because at this point there wasn't no way to get out the neighborhood where he was. It's surrounded by water. Then there's alligators in the water over there, because
Damn.
the lakes by my house they had alligators in them. So we stuck. But it's like, man, I had my son Houston with me, and I'm like, man, if anything, I got to get him up out of here.
Right.
And we were rescued, and I'll never forget when we walking through that water. I had Houston on my shoulders at the time, because the water was up to my chest. We got out of there, and we went to my brother Jayton's house. I don't know. At that moment, I felt kind of helpless and hope like I'm looking like, man, I didn't have to be rescued. Like it was an uncomfortable feeling. So
Right.
that night, I got Houston them situated, and I left, man. I just hit the streets, and I ain't never come back. I was day in, day out, meaning whether it was sleeping in the mall parking lot where they had the hood back for people to go do rescues, or
Right.
in cars or whatever, and I just go, and that's to the point. If I don't go, I feel guilty anywhere around the world because when shit happen, they get to calling me.
That's what I was just about to ask you. So once you make that decision to step out there and go from being rescued to rescuing, after Harvey is over, after that task has been completed, after you've done as much as could be reasonably asked of you to do for others, what's sending you back out there? You feel me? Because you did your thing, because you only had to be rescued out of that one situation.
Yeah.
So now you went and you served your debt and said thank you to the universe by repaying back the service that was rendered to you. But what take you back out there over and over and over again?
Again, believe it or not, man, you would think with me on the rap side, you think my DMs would be jumping with all kind of stuff. My DMs be jumping with help, help, help. Like, yeah, you get more tags of me, people need help than just my everyday life. But
Right.
long story short, man, people really, before they go reach out to the government, before they reaching out to the laws,
Right.
the first person they doing is hitting me. And I always want to be at a point where I don't turn that blind eye.
Yeah.
Because I know it'll eat me up alive if somebody reaching out to me and I catch wind of it and I don't go.
Yeah.
And they may not make it, you know.
Man, I seen so much stuff outside of just the relief. Like you, I think it was a lady that was about to, I think she needed a roof or she needed a new bed or like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it like just all kinds of requests. You know what I'm saying? People who microwave went out, you know what I'm saying? You got to come bring them a microwave and shit like that. Like what make, how do you differentiate what to respond to and what you feel like somebody else can handle it?
Well, you know, I got with Relief Gang, it's a team of us, you know. It's a whole squad of us, mainly my assistant, Crystal, but most of the time, so what they try and do is they try and keep some stuff from me because they know I don't really know how to tell people no, so I move instantly. So
Right.
that's why it is good for them to differentiate some of the situations. Cause I've been in some situations too. Well, I done did some extreme stuff for people, and all the while I got burnt. They didn't
How you get burnt?
You really want to go in depth?
Yeah, sure. That's what we're here for. How you get burnt?
Oh man, I'll never forget. Right, it was this, and I've been burnt a bunch, man.
Okay.
But and when you're doing it from a good place, it don't even, you know, it is what it is. You take it on the chin. But this lady, I'll never forget this lady. I seen her crying online. Everybody booing, tagging me, because when I'm online, I'll post something and I ain't doing all this scrolling most of the time.
Right.
But everybody tagging me, notifications. I look, and the lady, she older. She like, man, she trying to get her GED. She 60 plus. You know what I'm saying? Said the teacher called us stupid, and you know, stuff like that. It kind of bring a different type of raise. I'm like, she couldn't afford her books, everything. So the good thing that I've been blessed with, if I want to find somebody, I just tell my fans I need to get in touch with them, and they find them instantly. So
Right.
they get me in touch with her. I get on the phone with her. You know, she crying. She like, I don't have the books. They say I'm not smart enough. I need the tutor. Instantly, I'm like, well, hey, how much your books is? You know what I'm saying? I think she tell me maybe 1,500, 2,000, and send her the money right there.
You sent her the money?
Right then.
You didn't pay for the books?
Nah.
You sent her the money? Okay.
Sent her the
I
money.
see why they keep shit from you.
So I sent her the money. Then as I'm looking, you know, lady ain't got no teeth. So I went up, you know, I sent her the money for the books. I actually get tutors that'll go online to help her. But then I'm like, better yet, man, I'm gonna be at home in Houston next week. I'm gonna fly you down. I was surprised because as I'm
Where
talking
you from?
to her, man, I don't even remember. Somewhere in the Midwest.
Okay.
But as I'm chopping it up with her, and I noticed in the video she didn't have no teeth. So I tell her I'm gonna fly down here. I fly
So you called
down
Power
here.
Wow, got her a grill.
Nah, I got with a dentist and got her whole mouth done. Like she
Okay.
had no teeth. Like I got her mouth
The
done.
whole grill.
Yeah, not diamond.
The
grill,
pull-outs
real
or
teeth.
the keep-ins?
Yeah, no, not diamond grill, like teeth.
I know,
dentures.
porcelain.
Yeah,
I
she
get
could.
it, porcelain.
She had to take it out. Yeah,
Pearly white, but she had to.
Yeah, she could take them out.
To put them on the side of the bed
She could
joints.
take them
Okay,
out.
gotcha.
Yeah. So did that with her, and as she here, you know, it first started. Cause I be telling my team, man, don't be too harsh, cause you know, as she here every day, I greeted her. I had a concert that they greeted her, flowers, all kind of stuff. You know, had people moving her around, and I think I was giving her like maybe. Probably like $80 or $100 a day to eat. She ended up coming out here with a dog and a friend. It was just supposed to be her. But
Well, you can't expect people to travel by themselves. You know?
Yeah.
Some people,
Well-
especially if you ain't never left the house before, Got to have somebody, like a little security blanket.
Yeah, but it was a red flag and I wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
So
What
giving
happened at
her,
the end of it?
huh?
What happened at the
So
end?
long story short, come to find out when I get the tutors here, I'm sending them to her. She complaining about everything. But one of the tutors hit me. She like, hey, I asked her to give me a list of these books that she needed to complete her task, and them goddamn books was $20 a piece. You see what I'm saying? So it's like people use you, and
Yeah.
so you got to think not only
Yeah.
she got a couple thousand on books, let alone probably
Triple using.
15,000 worth of teeth.
And some teeth.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All the while the lady was lying, and then come to find out she done this before. So all that shit was fake.
So she probably had some teeth. She just didn't put them in.
Yeah, even if not the teeth, she knew how to
She probably had
finesse
a
to
whole
get the
grill,
money.
just didn't put it in. She just kept it on the side of the bed and said, I'm going to give me a whole new set.
Funny story.
with
I
Trae.
just seen online doing it, and for sure somebody else bit.
Dang.
And it's like I can't be no hater and be like, hey, nah, don't do that, because it's like it ain't my place. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, you can.
Nah, because then it'll be like, damn, bro, you don't want the
They
lady to get
burnt
help.
me, y'all. This one burnt me. Don't fall for the scam. This one burnt me.
I took mine on the chin and kept it moving, bro.
I feel it.
Yeah, but nah, we get burnt like that all the time.
Yeah. Well, I think that's kind of comical. You know what I'm saying? Because it don't really cost us no whole lot of money, and then you know what I'm saying. It's more the time, attention, and the consideration we give it. You know what I mean? That's worth more than the money. Yeah. So when you go through situations like that, okay, so and not just Houston, because I don't want to just minimize your efforts and the work that you do just to Houston, because I've seen you out there front line in Kentucky.
Yeah, I lived in Kentucky. I moved to Kentucky with Tamika Mallory and my son and them to fight for Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, Ferguson.
Yep, we was there. Man, it's so many different people. And then it's crazy and ironic that George Floyd is my partner.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Man, and this even more crazy.
And Minnesota.
Yeah, you didn't even know this, right? So, and we was just talking about it last night. Remember when we did the VP of Grand Hustle dinner?
Yeah.
And I got the Icon Award.
Right.
He was at both of them with us.
For real.
No lie.
What?
Yeah, so that's how crazy and small of a world it is.
Damn.
But yeah,
I
I've
mean,
been there.
I just seen you like popping up, doing stuff, man, and I remember, you know, me and you used to fall out a lot, because I remember you'd be calling me, you know what I'm saying, talking about when you should put a record out. And I'm like, man, bruh, you need to keep doing what you doing, man.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
You need to keep doing what you're doing, man. You are much more useful to the world.
Well, let me put it in
doing
context.
What you're doing. No, but it is what it is.
Let me put it in context what he used to do. What you used to do was like, hey, bro, man, the music dope, but, bro, you here for a bigger purpose.
Yes.
And in my mind, it'd be like, nigga, how the fuck you gonna tell me not to rap? Nigga, I'm not telling you not to rap.
I didn't tell you not to rap.
Yeah, but
you ain't got to tell me. I voluntarily postponed my participation. I don't, you know what I mean? It's because I just feel like God give everybody a gift, right? But some people, He give a special collection of gifts where they can start off using one of their gifts just to put them in the position to kickstart them into using the other gift. You know what I mean?
Taking them into their purpose.
Yeah. So if you get too caught and focused on one of these gifts to where you ain't able or willing to switch gears and recognize when it's time to pivot and evolve, then I feel like you don't necessarily get to exercise all the gifts you've been given. And you don't want to go back with no gifts you didn't use. You feel what I'm saying? That's just my opinion. So that's why we had that conversation. And we start having the conversation before Harvey. Mm-hmm. We start having these conversations before Harvey when you were just moving around and kind of talking to schools and doing your community service stuff, you know what I mean? But then when the relief gang stuff started kicking in, it's almost like it started making sense to you.
I'm going to say, even though me and you debate and we argue about a lot of stuff, don't think I don't listen.
I be right.
You motherfucker. In some aspect, Because it be
Yeah.
times your ass be wrong and I got to
You
tell
be
you
wrong
right.
when you usually be right when you telling me about me.
Right?
And I'm usually right when I'm telling you about you.
And I agree with that.
All right.
And you know, it's crazy. I think the hardest part was accepting that.
Yeah.
Because when you telling me that, now you got niggas from other places pulling up on me like, man, bro, I'm watching what you do, bro. You got like, it's bigger than the music.
That's
You know what I'm
right.
saying?
Yeah.
And it just starts sinking in, and I think the hardest part was to accept it. But
Yeah.
once I accepted it, I just start, I start going with. I still do me, but I'm just making sure that I really focus on being who I feel God want me to be. You know what I'm saying?
Right on. Now, okay, I think that's a beautiful segue into I want to go from you just taking initiative yourself, being this selfless guy that just have random acts of kindness and strategic efforts led by a genuine interest to help the community and his people. How does this guy go from being so love, revered, and committed to being shaped as a villain in the public, in the media? Like how, like, cause it seemed like, cause I know when I met you, when we first started moving around and kicking it, and you were telling me, like you were banned from radio. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Still bad.
I'm like, yeah, okay, man. I seen like, Luke and Two Live Crew were banned. You know what I mean? I get it. Banned in the USA. Okay, fine. We can get through this. And there were people, are people, have been people, still are people that are adamant about you or exclaiming that you are an antagonizer, like you are the provoker, like you are the person that start the trouble and intimidates and it kind of muscles his way around Houston and the community. Why would they think that or believe that about you?
I'm gonna say honestly, bro, that's the insecurity with them. But before I even get to that, I'm gonna ask you, even with that being portrayed to you, from what you know me, what's the first thing that you think of if you see me getting into something?
Well, the first thing I think if I see you getting into something is, you probably should have stayed your ass at home. That's the first thing I think. You know what I'm saying? When I see it. But I know you in a different way.
Right.
I'm trying to figure out people who don't have the relationship that I have with you, how could they get around you and not have the same experience that I've had?
That's the thing. I don't think they've ever really been around me. You know, the ones that tend to speak, they speak on situations that they don't necessarily know, because you got to realize, and it's like sometimes you don't have, common sense ain't so common these days.
Right.
But also you don't have the time to sit and explain to each individual person. You know what I'm saying? Or let them in your life like that. And I'm going to give you a quick concept, right? People see me and you in the video. They see somebody laying on the ground. It may be a bat or a tool over there. True enough. Now, common sense, they may feel, man, one of them that hit him, this man, and probably, like they doing him wrong. They may not have know that man may have pulled up to rob you. They may not know what that man have done. They may not know why that is there, or that it's just they automatically come up with their own perspective and thought process, as opposed to being a person like, well, let me weigh the options, and before I judge it, let me see what's what.
Well, I could see that. I could see how that could happen one time. You feel me?
Boy.
But if you have a consistent picture being painted, this is a narrative that one or many have accepted in reference to you and who you are as a person. And my question is, why is that narrative so different from the person that I know?
I think honestly, bro, when you do say person or people, right? I would think that would still come from a certain circle or a certain crowd, right? And I feel like honestly, two things. One, they needed a reason to feel that way. Because one thing about it, if you're not trying to come get to know me and you forming your own opinion, it was already on your mind in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And the other thing is, we live in a world, right? You know, I used to have people tell us it's people who work together all the time that may not like each other,
Right.
that may not, they may not operate outside of work or
Of
whatever
course.
that
You
is.
talking about white people? Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, of course. They do it all the time.
yeah, I get it. Look,
Yeah.
so with that being said, I'm a different type of person, right?
Okay.
Like I'm a type of person if I'm around you and I'm catching you talking about people or catching you doing certain shit, and then you try and come back under me, I'm the type of person like bro, that shit ain't. I don't fuck with that. That ain't even solid. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Especially if I witness that and then I witness you go shake this person's hand, like you ain't just feel or express how you felt. So with that being said, even if I catch wind of somebody feeling some way with me, and they come to me and they like, hey, what up, Trae? But in my mind, it's like, nigga, just not long ago, I know you was on fuck Trae, whatever he got going on, or this ain't that. It don't make me mad at you, but I'm not gonna fake with you. Like, why do I have to fake? And what happened is, I'm outspoken. So when I'm outspoken, or I address it, then it goes, oh man, he on this bullshit, or he tripping, man. That nigga, he always got a problem with somebody. But they ain't. I could take my accountability for being stand up as black or white with me. I never lie to nobody. You're not getting no in the middle. It's either I rock with you or I don't. You know. So for them, it's like I become a problem because I don't form into how they feel I should be.
Now let me ask you this, right? Do people have to fall in to how you feel they should be in order
Never.
to be accepted?
Because you know what I've learned through time, I can't expect the me out of them.
Yeah.
I can't, you know. I also don't have to put up with what they doing either.
Okay.
I'm a man. I have a right to be like,
You
hey,
deserve the right.
yeah,
Stay to
you.
yourself.
I have a right to be like, bro, shit that y'all doing it. I wasn't raised like that. That's not solid. So if I have to be a loner and stand over here because I'm not gonna operate the way y'all are, paint me to be the bad guy.
Now, now, let me ask you this: when you have, I don't want to say voluntarily, but you've put yourself in this loner column. All right.
Okay.
When you put yourself here, and other people just leave you there, they don't have to go out their way to include you in anything they got going on, but they just leave you there in that loner position that you put yourself in. What do you think their obligation is to maintain a relationship with you?
So when you say put myself in a loner,
Because you say, hey man, they rock it like this. I don't rock like that. So guess what? I'm gonna stay over here, let them do what they doing over there.
so in that sense, I look at it like don't nobody owe me shit.
Okay.
So if they don't rock with me,
Right.
it's cool. But I think what happens with me that irritates me is not that we don't rock. It's the things that happen with that. The
Like?
things of putting roadblocks up, the things of, hey, I don't think y'all may not want to deal with him. You know, y'all may want to come deal with everybody over here because if you notice, he over there by himself. So it may not be good to deal with him. You should go and stick over here. So it becomes, hey, well, now you're affecting my livelihood, my day to day.
Now
You know what I'm saying?
I'm hearing something different now. So now, is it that you're suggesting that there may be people who are deterring opportunities away from you, and people who would be coming to offer opportunities to you to benefit your livelihood, help you feed your family? You saying those opportunities are being blocked by
Very
people?
much, that's very much so. But out here in this world, let's just say here within the city,
Is that just
that's
in
been
Houston?
seen. More so here than anywhere else. But that's more so the reason why I'm stomped down out here. Like I'm one of the people you ain't gonna make me move. You're not gonna shift me out or make me tap out because man, what God gave to me, ain't no nigga on earth can take that from me. You know what I'm saying? And I understand I may take the longer route than most because
Yeah.
I don't necessarily break down or move or blend in with everybody else. But so be it. You got to think, Tip. But what artists Prime example, you have an artist, right? Have a #1 record. Next go round, you know, he may have a hit or miss with a record. If he don't have a hit record, he wither away. And his shit start
Not
to.
necessarily.
But no, let's be real.
I mean,
no, but hear me out.
It depends on what your relationship with that artist is. Like, okay, if we have built a relationship and we share the experience of growing a project from the thoughts that we've had in conversations to the music that were made in the studio to the project that we brought out the studio that we built up the #1 and we share that experience together. The next time, if he ain't got a #1, I'm not just gonna say he
No. See, you taking it out of the context of what I meant.
Okay, I'm sorry.
What I'm saying is, career-wise, nothing to do with a relationship.
Okay.
You can have
if it's only about the transaction of the success of this
right. So
material.
so what I'm gonna say is, we can go. You have a record, right? You know how it go when you have records and you own at the time. You have different people that create different opportunities for you. If it seems that you may not have it at the second go round, some of them doors may be closed, and some of that stuff may start deteriorating. Now, hear me out first.
I will.
So, what I'm saying is, I watch people be at the top, and I watch them go low. But I'm only saying that to say, within mine, I was always at the bottom. So the fact of me being able to even maneuver, navigate, and make it through the band, because that's something I'm gonna have to explain to you what the band is.
Yes,
So for
please.
me
What
to
is
make,
the band?
huh?
What is the band?
I'm gonna tell you that. So for me to make it through that, that's a prime example of what God got for me. Nobody can take.
Oh, the band, the radio band.
Yeah.
Got
So what
it.
I'm saying, what's for me, nobody can take.
Right.
It's not to shit on somebody and say because they don't have a #1 record, they didn't make it.
Right.
What I'm saying is, you watch people that don't have the obstacles or the hurdles that I have, and it's automatically hard for them. If they were placed in my shoes, you got to think, and you may want to say it, may not. You got to think when we was on tour, what's some of the things that we was told? Hey, some of these venues, he ain't
can't go
allowed
in.
here.
Yeah.
Hey, when we got group records together, y'all got to take him off. Like people,
That's
know how
true.
many opportunities. Like if people knew,
But that was one entity, though. That was one blanketed entity.
But guess what?
That wasn't a collection of individuals.
but guess what? That blanket entity for what we did,
Yeah.
is what brought. That's what get us in the game. That's what helped us to live within the game.
Yeah.
That entity wasn't the. So make sure you understand, to those who may not know that you're talking to, that ain't no small ass.
Nah, it's a conglomerate. It's a conglomerate.
Probably one of the biggest when it
I don't
comes
even know
to
if we
black.
can say their name. I don't even know if we can say their name.
I don't
right
even
now.
want to say, because I'm
I think
past
it's an
that point in my
NDA
life.
or like some kind of.
Nah, you can say it, but I'm saying.
Well, I ain't gonna say it.
Yeah, but I'm gonna say, man, the good
If
thing.
you ain't gonna say who it is, I ain't gonna say who it is. You know what I'm saying?
Just know.
Google it. It's Googleable.
Yeah, it's definitely
You know what I'm saying?
Googleable. But I said that to say, man,
I want to
they
get into.
they can't take nothing from me that God got from
And
me.
they never have been able to, because you've continued to flourish and evolve into a different phase of yourself every step of the way, regardless of what you were facing. You hear me? And I've always admired you for that. But for those who don't know, we've been talking a lot about this band, this radio band.
Okay.
Could you please share with, the rest of the world who don't know, what was the origin of this band and what effect had it had, and does it still have an effect on you?